Hey guys, Crewman here, and I want to give a quick shout out to Game Gear for sending me over the KB65HE 8K keyboard. Now, this is a phenomenal keyboard. I've been taking it to LAN events across the country for the past 2 months, and I've been also using it as my daily driver. So, in today's review, I'm going to focus on the feel of the keyboard, the look of the keyboard. I'm going to go over the software of the keyboard. I'm going to show you how to quickly hot swap a key from the keyboard, and I am going to talk about the ergonomics of the keyboard. Now, I want to give 3 quick disclaimers about this review. The first disclaimer is this keyboard was sent to me by Game Gear, but I did request one of their high-end keyboards so I could use it as a LAN keyboard, and boy did this not disappoint. The next thing is I am not a professional keyboard reviewer. This is actually the first keyboard I've reviewed on this channel, and I don't know how many I'll review as I get keyboards and then I tend to use them for a really, really long time. But I am not an expert at this, so I'm kind of taking this from like an everyman's approach. I know it has 8K polling on the switches, but I do not know how to test that, and I'm not even going to attempt to test that. And finally, as with anything involving ergonomics, my preferences may not necessarily be yours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the tools to figure out if this keyboard is even worth trying for you. Basically, you'll watch this review and you'll go, maybe I'll pick it up. And the good thing is if you buy it from any site like Amazon or any one of those, if the keyboard is not to your liking, you can just return it. So with that said, let's get to the video review. And thank you again to Game Gear for sending me this keyboard. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you is what it comes with in the box. Essentially, it comes with the following. It comes with a USB to USB Type-C cable. It comes with 2 rubber legs that you could put on, and it comes with a single Game Gear key. So now let's go over what I really like about this thing. So the first thing that I really like about this keyboard is I like the aluminum frame. Now this thing feels very, very high end. Now it's heavy, but has a quality feel to it. And what I really like is when I'm typing, the keyboard isn't moving. I've had some lighter keyboards where they move, and that is really frustrating. And also something else that you can do, so instead of having plastic feet that you can easily break, you essentially just remove the feet and add these rubber feet. So you can have your keyboard rise up or you can have it rise down. I actually think I prefer it up like this. I just wanted to showcase it with the feet off. And I really like that because there's nothing worse on a really good keyboard than when you break the legs off the bottom and then you're basically SOL. Alright, so the next thing I want to go over is the hot swappable keys. Now I'm just using a random key that I got, that I had laying around. Basically you just pull it out and you're done. So these are pretty hot swappable, and you can see the Hall Effect button right here, pushing down on it right now. And I love Hall Effect. Again, I'm not a keyboard expert, but it's like you either have Hall Effect or you don't anymore. So, and then to put it in, all you got to do is push down, and you can see we have swapped it out. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to swap back. You just pull it out and put it back in. Now I'm not really like a keycap kind of guy, so I'm most likely going to leave it like this, which leads me to another thing that I love. I love the LED. Now in the software, which I will show you in a second, you have the ability basically to change the lights to whatever you want. You can have it surf, you can have it do a snake run, you can basically do whatever you want. Now, like I said, I prefer static, and we're going to go to my favorite color, which is green, representative of my channel. But I really like that you have lots of RGB control, because I know a lot of keyboards that actually don't give you that, and it's incredibly frustrating. Another thing I like is if you look at the caps lock button, you can have certain buttons when you hit them turn white or a different color so that you know that they're on. Just a nice touch that I feel like any premium keyboard should have in 2025. Now let's go over the software. Alright, so here we have the software, and I really like Game Gear software. It's very light. One of the things I really like about it is it's super simple to use. As you can see, I'm just going over the software, what you can do with it. You can change the lights around. You can change the keyboard effects. You can set macros, which is really nice. I really like that you can control the RGB from it, as you've already seen. And one of my favorite things that you can't see right here, but it automatically starts when you turn your computer on, and you don't have to mess with it. So you don't have to constantly turn your RGB on or off if that's something you like. And I also like that you can make the key presses faster or slower depending on what you enjoy. Now that I've spent all this time talking about the features of the keyboard, how does it type? Well, listen to how not loud it is. It feels very, very quiet, especially when you compare it to lower quality keyboards that are that are pretty loud. You know, your standard mechanical keyboard versus, and you definitely hear the noise difference. And I used to kind of like the loud clicky keyboards, but now I'm really into the quiet ones. Now, as far as its claim to 8K polling, I am no expert on that, so I'm not even going to claim to be, but you can download software and try it out for yourself. But it is not something that I am qualified to test. Like I said, I'm just a guy that loves a keyboard that looks good, feels good, and it works. I appreciate good software, which I've already shown, and I appreciate a quiet keyboard. Again, feel how quiet that is, especially when you compare it to loud mechanical clicky switches. As always with a keyboard, you know, it really comes down to how it feels in your hands, but I can tell you that with its crisp aluminum feel, the RGB inset into the keyboard, it looks as great as it feels, and this is a great keyboard. This will be my keyboard of choice that I will use for probably a long time, and I will take it to all LAN events with me, and it just matches that premium look that my system gives out. And I think the worst thing you could do is have like a high-end 5090, 9800 X3D PC with like a $10 or $15 keyboard. That leads me to the final point, and that is the price. Now you can skip over the price if you're not interested in that part, but I will say this. Right now it currently costs about $140, but you definitely get what you pay for. The fact that there are no plastic legs, that the whole body is aluminum, it uses Hall effect joysticks, and it has 8K polling, means that in my average everyman TechTuber opinion, I think this is a croup buy. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much to Endgame Gear for sending me this keyboard out. I was incredibly excited to try it, and this is my first keyboard review. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Peace out.